A political shift to the right in Europe. It's got the BBC and the Guardian frightened. Any shift to the right is far-right extremism to the leftist media. First, we've had Italy with Giorgia Meloni. Then there's been Hungary, Finland, Sweden, Greece, and there's predictions that Spain and the Netherlands could be next. Joining me now to discuss this is legal academic Dr. Rocco Luichono. Rocco, what's behind this shift?
Oh, good evening, Rita. I think I can explain that in Giorgia Meloni's own words. She gave an interview to Fox News over the weekend during her visit to the United States. And Maria Baritomo, the Fox News journalist, actually asked her the question about the conservative shift across Europe. And Giorgia Meloni answered, well, look, people in Europe, the citizens of Europe now are realising that there is a fundamental difference between conservatives and the left. And over the last few years, with the crises that have occurred, citizens are realising that they don't want, in these tough times, to have an ideological utopia forced upon them. They want to be governed by people who have answers and policies to deal with the problems that everyday people are facing. And Conservatives are offering those policies, and that is why they're winning elections.
Well, illegal immigration has played a big role in Italy. They've had 60,000 migrants arrive by boat in a single year, and Giorgia Meloni has called for a new plan to tackle this problem. She's talking about offering aid to African countries. Take me through this strategy.
Well, what Giorgia Meloni is saying is, look, this isn't just an Italian problem or a French problem or even just a European problem. It's a Mediterranean problem. And to do that, you have to deal with Africa. Now, Africa, many states in Africa are financially bankrupt. And what that means is that you get criminal elements with their money engaging in Africa and taking over, basically, and allowing their activities to make the West weaker in allowing this illegal immigration to pass. So what you need to occur, so what you need to do is you need to deal with Africa. And as Giorgia Meloni said, in the past, we've adopted pretty much the wrong approach. We've been full of advice, but not full of help. And when you help African countries, she reminded us that, let's not forget, the continent of Africa is the richest continent in the world in terms of minerals. It's not a poor country. It's not a poor continent. So the West can benefit not only by assisting African countries in providing them with the infrastructure and the resources to stop illegal immigration, but also Africa has not just minerals but arable land. So it can also help Europe because, let's not forget, Europe at the moment is suffering an energy crisis, and Africa, with its minerals, with its gas, can assist with that as well. So as Giorgia Meloni said, when we help them, we also have a chance to help us in the West as well.
Now, what does this rise of the right wing across Europe mean for Australia? Hopefully some of our spineless politicians can find some inspiration, but does it have any implications locally?
Well, it has to, Rita, and if it doesn't, it means our politicians are in their own little cocoons not listening. As I said earlier, Giorgia Meloni and the right across Europe have presented the difference between what it means to be a conservative and what it means for those on the left. And Giorgia Meloni knows better than most about Anglo-conservative centre-right principles because she's very much well-versed in Roger Scruton and J.R. Tolkien and the like, and her speeches are full of quotes from them. So she understands deeply what it means to be a centre-right conservative in the Anglo-Saxon tradition. And our politicians here would be well served to listen to her and to take advice from her. And they might find that, hey, they might taste electoral success because the polls in Italy at the moment, Giorgia Meloni and her coalition is in a better position than they were when they won the election in September last year.
And she's possibly the most popular leader in Europe right now, certainly in the EU. Dr. Rocco Luichono, thank you so much for your time this evening.